match already start, because both teams agree that they are ready. So I think this is still a fair factor to start. Otherwise, both teams should not agree that they are ready for the match, and every other team is also ready and preparing and try to have that match. I'm really not sure what is really happening when they sign up the tournaments and they are not able to make it, and we are always having some volunteers problem. But I think Alexander and this Tanya, both of them is trying to play some one-on-one at this moment. So the rules is still the same from yesterday. Each members they will have 2 airlift, whether they use it during the fight or they are siege down. As long as they use the airlift, that will be count. And if there is no more any teammate on this particular area, on this village, about 60 seconds, then their team will consider disqualified and consider defeated by the other team. So now we are seeing Team Farmer, he tried to do a one-on-one, but his team also try to help with this 61 and Tanya. Maybe 61 and Tanya think about one-on-one supposed to be more fair, and that's how they try not to do 2-on-1. But Alexander also try to do his siege with this super heavy. That is not anything seriously problem by now. Alright, so we already put all the tag, and hopefully both team being able to join. So let's remove these 2 tag because that is not really needed at this moment. And I believe the match and the war is already started for them. So let's just finish it. So now nothing seriously. Everyone just try to watch at this is about maybe 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, but I think 61 is being a very gentle that not trying to interrupt these 1-on-1 matches. And because aware that team met that they are not very strong by 67 million power, that's why I also asked Team Farmer go to XYT2 instead of let them stay in XYT1. But now it's more about 1-on-1. But I think if they know how to play, Alexander still have chance to win. But I would say the problem is that this Alexander, he might having a problems. Even though he successfully win this Tanya, he still have a problem about fighting the other fella with 54.5 million powers. That is one of the issue. So, but we also let's take a look how they fight about this 1-on-1 at this moment. Even though this is a team fight, but now being converted to become 1-on-1. Anyway, let's put this tag to the other side, not to really blocking our view that our can't see anything at all. Alright, so we can see that Alexander base is go down about 30% already, and then he have about 1 full groups that go down to red. But Tanya, he also have his super heavy down. At least he trade off about 30% of the enemy base. This is about 1-on-1. So the more you trade off, of course, it's the more better, because this tournament is all about how you can kill the other side base first instead of you trying to do anything else. Right, so there's nothing any surprise thing to be happening at any moment now, because both of them is also try to wait for their super heavy to be recruit back. After that, they will try to do the swarm or the siege, because this is just a 1-on-1. It's not considered swarm, but just a siege and just about attack. So that's supposed to be the game now. But this fight, clearly we can see the advantage on this Tanya. He having the 70 million point 3 powers, and then the other side having 67. Actually, just about 3.3 million power difference. But if you play correctly, you also can see how you can make the war, make the fight being turned around and become your benefit. But the best thing of this team farmer is that they're having this kind of benefits that try to have a 2-to-1, but they try not to do that and try to have 1-on-1 instead. So I think that is quite fair. Give up their benefit, give up their advantage to do 2-on-1 instead of just do 1-on-1. I think that's very good for this friendly match, and also good for the tournaments that everyone try to improve their skill instead of trying to win. That is very kind, I would say. So now that Alexander have a light tank, he try to kill the archeries from Tanya. He not really worried about that. He know that trade off the enemy base is the main object, so he really go into that even though his archeries is dying, but he's still saving 2 group inside his base, so the Alexander can't do the free kill just to take off some of the Tanya base HP. But Tanya this time is not doing very well, because from 30% I think he take about another 8%, but he die about 2 group of the archeries. His super heavy is not dying, just about 80% still inside the base, supposed to be okay. But trade off about 8% is not very good for 2 archeries dying. So definitely he can use some of the 2 groups to set it outside the base, might try to do some support or something, but he not doing that. Alexander also try his best to defend just now, but he using light tank to defend the the archeries is not also what very defensive move. But anyway, if Tanya successfully try to stitch the target on this light tank just now, so that is also give some benefit to Alexander, because his space is activated just now, so he will buy more time for his archeries to do some counter attacks. But now Alexander try to do counter attack with super heavy, and his super heavy also very strong, and he have 2 strong archeries as well, so Tanya have to really be some defensive. But his group is still red. That is one of the problem. Maybe he not recruiting or not recruiting fast enough. But definitely Alexander can't do any more damage. He's just worried about his super heavy going to die and his archery is going to die. That's why he tried to be some of defensive. But you can see he only trade about 4% or maybe 8% of this Tanya HP. Is not very good deal. If keeping this kind of situation, I think Tanya will win this one-on-one fight. Otherwise, Alexander do some very surprise counter attack or kill Tanya troops that he can siege or empty space. But I don't see that anything happening now. And Alexander base keep on going down, almost like down to 60% HP. But I think he more than 60% by now. So we'll see what is going to happening later on from this match of Team Farmer versus Team Matt. So at this moment, both members, they also try to get their full troops back. So you can see Tanya is continuously train back his troop, and Alexander is almost max his troop already, but he's still not doing anything at all. And his base definitely is burning, and he's not doing enough damage to this Tanya. So he should really find a way that can break through this kind of situations. Not going to be getting anything disadvantage again, otherwise he might lose this one-on-one fight. So Tanya tried to do another siege, and this time he only using 1 archeries instead of using 2, and he also tried to retreat his super heavy. That also some of the play. So he did kill some of the enemy base HP, but that is very less, about 1 to 2% maybe, because he's still having a lot of HP in this Alexander base. And Tanya having 2 group style. Finally Alexander tried to do some counter attack and some siege as well. So Tanya really need to do some defense. So now definitely try to do defense, take off half of the Alexander groups down. But that is still not enough. So I would say both of them still have a lot of room to improve. And this 61 definitely become audience. I mean, he just try to watch from the side. So the real challenge is that Alexander base going down too much. If he even though having some miracle to win Tanya, but his base is just too low to fight another full HP enemy base, that is not going to happen. That's why he really have to do more than just continuously to defense. Otherwise, his defense has to be very good to make sure the enemy doesn't take too much of his base HP, and he can do some counter attack as well. Because if you forever try to defend but your base still taking some of damage, over time your base will go down even though you kill a lot of enemy reserve, but you still lose the tournaments, because the tournament is all about how you remove the enemy base on this particular village land. So that is the main problems that they should really try to improve, and how to keep their base alive. Basically, this kind of practice we can also try to think about when we try to build our CC, or we try to save our building village, and we might having this kind of situation a lot of time when the enemy try to come in and you have to defense and you try to remove them. Otherwise your building won't go to build and forever just hold there. That's the problem. So this is about similar to real fight and real situations that we have. So improving your one-on-one skill definitely will help you to win this game over time, because you have to understand how you can win and overplay your enemy instead of do everything exactly the same same style or same skill, because that sometimes it works, sometimes might not, because the meta of the game is keep on changing. So now you can see Tanya is being the offensive side. He always try to offense when he have a full troops. Even though Alexander having a full troops, he also not trying to do that. So he are being very defensive. If he continue to do that, his base can't really afford more than loss, So when he have some of the mistake, being use his archeries to attack too quick, that's why the base try to aim his archery instead of aiming his super heavy at all. So you really have to work out some of the timing to use your super heavy to tank, and let your super heavy tank most of the damage, and use your archeries to take off some of the enemy HP, but also not to let your archeries go down too quick. Now the enemy base is activated, definitely is not a good time to do the attack, but anyway he still do that. And now Tanya do some defense. He definitely have to go back to retreat from Alexander. Then I will say this time defense Tanya doing a very good job to chase back Alexander, and he can do a counter attack because his base is definitely activated. So both his troops inside the base can do a lot of damage like now, and then his archeries continue to kill the enemy base as well. So definitely he can trade more than what he should have. That's why you can see Alexander having 2 groups totally down, and then having 3 groups inside the base. But Tanya does not so worry about that. He continuously to siege, and I think this technique is very good for one-on-one. And my truck going back to my base that asking me to send for resources. So let me do that very quick. And just go back to the match. So both of them definitely doing some of the recovery and recruit back their troops to become a full troops. So but from this one-on-one, we can clearly see that Tanya's skill is a little bit better than Alexander, because the first thing is that Tanya can play a little bit aggressive, and he know how when to retreat, and also when to attack. Now he is not the best time, even though his archery is dying, but he know he can siege some of the enemy base, and he also use archery to kill some of the enemy archeries, so that even though his archery is going down, but enemy also doesn't have archeries to do a counter attack, so that he are buying some time. But now Tanya dying just too much. His super heavy is totally wiped off already, so you have to wait for the super heavy a little bit longer time. Then he have two group of archeries going down, but Alexander having the same situation. He have two group of archeries going down as well. So both of them can't do any counterattack at all. But the problem now start is because Alexander base is on the yellow, and this Tanya is still about almost brand new base. And so even though the answer of this Alexander having some kind of a very good skill to overcome, he still can't fight 61 with a brand new base, even though it's not very strong. But 50 over billions definitely can help. So that this 61 is trying to show that he is the cheerleader team. So come to do some of the like round 2 or round 3. So please prepare, and not to forget he is one of the teammate as well. But he choose not to being unfair to fight some of the team that their member is not coming during this match. So I think Alexander doing very good to use his light tank to kill off the Tanya archeries. Tanya not using anything inside his base to support his archeries, then kill this light tank. I think that is a little bit misplay from just now. But he also asked his Super Heavy to be retreat. That is correct, because your archeries going down, you no need to let your Super Heavy to die for nothing. But Alexander, he also tried to use his best time to defend, but always defend. Your base will going down like 2 to 3%, 2 to 3% over time. Your base will go down if he doesn't want to do anything at all. And you can see Tanya base still brand new, even though he doesn't have a lot of troops to defend now. And Alexander doesn't want to take this opportunity to do a counter attack. So I think both of them also try to save two group of the troop inside his base to be able having some defense. But sometimes your troop inside your base is like totally useless if you doesn't use them at all. So at some point, you really need to think about when to use them to do some pressure, instead of letting them stay in the base do forever sleeping. That is not helping at all. Otherwise, your base is activated, then you should let them stay inside the base to become very safe. Alexander's now doing some counter attack. Let's see what he can do and how Tanya can defend this. So Alexander is not using even any archeries. So definitely Tanya is doing a very good job. You no need to react until any archery is showing up. So definitely Alexander doing a very I'm not sure say very bad job, but it's not good things to do, because you want to win one-on-one. Definitely you do not want to activate your enemy base without a reason. Now if you activated enemy base, if enemy try to being very aggressive to put his Super Heavy out or even put his archeries out, definitely his base can kill anything, try to aim the Tanya troops. And now the base is activated, instantly can kill this Alexander Super Heavy. So that is not a good time to do this double siege within when the enemy base is activated. When you activate it accidentally, you should really wait the enemy base to become deactivated. When your Super Heavy try to attack the deactivated base, definitely the deactivated base will take about 2 seconds before they will be activated. That is how you can gain more second and more advantage. If the base is activated and you try to attack during the activated time, the base instantly will react and try to counterattack anything you try to touch that base. That's why you always want to gain the advantage when the enemy base is deactivated instead of activated. But this one is based on one-on-one skill, so it's very easy to see both players that how they're doing, whether which one is good, which one is not the best, and they have room to improve definitely. But from the angle, I will say both of the fighter also not having the best angle to do B2B, because you can see this great problem. Let's see. Yeah, from this side you can move 1, 2, 3, 4. If there is 4 grade, definitely you can't do instant go in and go out things to siege the enemy base. So that if your base is on the left side or the right side, definitely you can do that. It's more safe for your Super Heavy to go in and go out, something like that. So I do another. Alright, so Alexander try to do another counter attack now. Hopefully he can use archeries, but he's not. Just try to activate the enemy base without reason. And 61 try to do a cheerleader as well, saying that this is round 4. He also not to interrupt and try to move away his Super Heavy. And then Tanya really do his backup, try to do some counter attack. Now his base activated and try to counter attack this Alexander. Someone jump in and maybe he tried to be the backup or not. I'm not really sure. So let's see what we have here. So we have to check both of the players trying to join the team supposed to be under 150 million power to being qualified for any new member try to join the team. And then Alexander tried to do some counter attack during this Tanya defending, but Alexander just not do anything fast enough that he tried to retreat. I think this Wowo is really trying to join Team Matt now because he really trying to go in. I think that is a good things to have another members. So let's check Wowo power to make sure it's 150. So he's about 52.2 million power. Wowo joined the team of Matt, and then Alexander is 65.2. So two of them join is not above more than 150. Definitely two of them is qualified for this team. So now the situation turn. I think 61 really have to come in. But if 61 come somehow put on the left side, I think Alexander will having a lot of pressure because Alexander is the highest power people and he getting half of the HP down already. So Wowo should really do something if you want to join the team, but or maybe you want to look at those two fight their one-on-one until the end. But that will really make the decisions and the result the same. Like this Alexander already having a lot of disadvantage. So if Wowo really want to join this team, he really have to start to work something now, so that they might turn around some of the fight from disadvantage become advantage. It's okay. But if Wowo really try to do something, then 61 have to really go in now instead of letting Tanya being 2-on-1 the situations. But the main problem you can see Alexander do a lot of siege but can't really bring down Tanya base, and now Tanya base getting some pressure from Wowo. That is really a problem. Definitely 61 they already used one airlift now, so it's considered one airlift down, but he also doing savage strategy to take down Wowo. So definitely Wowo can't do the things. So maybe 61 do a very gentleman's move again. He tried to fight with this Wowo one-on-one, and so that Tanya and Alexander can continue their one-on-one instead. That's why 61 tried to hold and store and also disturb this Wowo just to make sure Wowo is not in the range. But Tanya also tried to do another thing, is helping his teammate 61 to siege down this Wowo. I think Tanya really take all his effort to help and knowing what is the best time to do what. Alexander tried to use a light tank to do some defense, but that is not very effective during Tanya base still activated. And now he's trying to do some attack and Wowo can't do the follow-up because 61 tried to store this Wowo, so he can't do the teammate 2-on-1 to siege this Tanya. And you can see Tanya base is still very brand new, about 80% above HP, and Wowo base start to go down a little bit more, and 61 base is still a brand new base that have no scratch at all. So that 61 continuously put more pressure because he know Wowo having some of the troops down, so he know that his defense is very weak. But the main thing is that he try to buy more time for Tanya, and so that he can also continuously to do his one-on-one to this Alexander. So both Alexander and Wowo really have to work something out. Not sure how they can win now, but I think the best solution for this team Matt is that Alexander try to put one of his archeries or somehow that put the team to help Wowo to siege down 61 first, because 61 is a little bit lower powers that might be easier to take down, and Tanya just a little bit too strong for them, 60 over million power. So two of them should really work some of the plan to take down 61 first, and also do some of the defense to make sure Tanya can't interrupt them, so that this 61 thinking this sandwich strategy might work, but actually is considered cut off. If Team Matt they know how to do the cut off now, just to cut off two of them, so they can't do the things that to make sure that sandwich is not working. But from the team farmer, since they're already doing this sandwich, I think the best is continuously doing what they are doing now. That is the best strategy and planning they already have. Tanya continuously to pressure Alexander not to let him pressure his teammate, and so that Wowo try to help Alexander, but 61 also continuously to disturb this Wowo. So Wowo can't do a lot of things if this Alexander go down, and Alexander actually is halfway going down. He having 50% HP now, you can see from the yellow line. And they can't even take about 20% from Danya. That is unfortunately. Then I have to get some of my resources as well. Let's get back to the match. So I think this match is not about fairness or whatever, but it's the situations that when you sign up some of the tournaments and something happens, that is how we should adjust our strategy and how to adjust that your teammates and the time that during the tournament day. But as long as there is someone to help your team, I think that is very good as well, even though he might not be the best teammate because he just joined you somehow. But I think the main purpose of this tournament and this match is about fun and also try to understanding how we can increase and also improve our gameplay and the skill of how we fight. Because this is just a friendly tournament and friendly match, but we also take it very seriously because in the end you will receive a real prize with some real money cash, so that they might also try to work it out. But if you learn something good today, so you might use that on the next day when you try to fight your enemy, because you're already working about the same situations that when your enemy try to airdrop next to you, then what you should do, whether you want to defend and how you should defend. If you want to siege down your enemy, what you should do first and how to bring down your enemy. And these are real fight situations, so there is no like I will just head up and give you some of the BQ. That is not happening. When you're facing your enemy, definitely the enemy doesn't give you any of the free things as well. And of course, the enemy doesn't want to talk about fairness or not, because the enemy will try to attack you during your offline time, or during you try to move your base, or try to attack any time that you are unprepared and not even having your best setup. But you know, if your teammates somehow doing some sandwich like this situation, then you can see this is very good siege. They coordinate, but you also say seeing this 61 also doing very good job to continue to pressure Wowo, so they can't do a long siege to Danya, but at least they both the team met bring down Danya base another 10%. I think that's some of the achievement. Now Danya try to coordinate with 61, try to bring down Wowo even more. And Alexander tried to use his light tank again, but his light tank just can't do a lot of things. He's using actually is the maximum range he can use, but also not able to do that. I think Wowo really into a deep problem. If Alexander can't support now, maybe Wowo will go down very, very quickly. But I think, yeah, that's his problem, because both of the 61 and Danya still have their super heavy on the map. So definitely they will continuously to siege and try to make Wowo very, very down. Now it's more than 50% HP going down. Alexander just very, very unprepared and thinking he really have to pressure Danya. So now he tried to use more than 2 groups and 3 groups to go about almost all in, just to make sure Danya stop, so that Wowo can have some time to rest and breathe. And 61, this is the really key person, even though he tried to be very gentle, and his base is still brand new base, you can see. And he really did the best thing, that when team farmer Danya, he really need the support, and this 61, he really know how to do it and how to make sure Danya having his best support. Try to make sure the Wowo can't interrupt Danya and team farmer. I think they are doing very good formations and also teamworks. Now 61 and Wowo try to do a one-on-one, and Danya not very worried about it. Actually, he can really pressure some of the Wowo base, but he also seeing this Alexander try to disturb him. But actually, Danya base is activated. Definitely, he can do more than just sitting in the base. Now, finally, he tried to do something to pressure Wowo, and 61 try to do defense, and Wowo have to stop. At least this Danya really do some of the damage and try to make this Wowo stop, and also steal some of the Wowo base HP. Now 61 try to do a coordination attack as well. So Wowo make all his troops out is not a very good things to do. That's why I'm saying that on my new videos, you should do 1-to-1 coming out and in, so that your base continuously to attack your enemy. Because each time your troops going out to the base and get back to the base, all your troops and your officer will have some reset on their skill. That is not a very good thing that you should have. You should really let your officer to stay inside your base. Let them use the officer's skill as well. If you check the report, officer skill is play a very big part on the skill damage, and that is one of the success of the defense. That's why we really have to work it out, not to just always use all in or out things to make sure that your defense is not working well. Because sometimes you make sure all the troops going out, and then your troops start to die, and that will make your defense weak as well. But the problem now is that Tanya already have full troops, and 61 have about half. That's why knowing that Tanya will be siege, they know Wowo is even better to sandwich him down now. Alexander tried to do a help, and finally Tanya base is not activated. At least Tanya know that, and he tried to do some retreat, and 61 know that. They try to pressure Wowo and try to do a retreat, and this Alexander just can't do anything to help because just a little bit too far away from this 61, and he also can't take down Tanya now. So I think Team Matt, they are already having some kind of a serious problem. If they can't get out of this situation now, this sandwich problem from this Team Farmer is really doing a very good job. So now they try to do a one-on-one things, but actually they activated two of the opponent's base without a very good reason. So that Tanya already have an activated base, so Alexander continuously can't do a lot of defense, but he also tried to pressure the enemy base now. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not. But 61 is doing also doing some of the one-on-one. So now you can see Alexander try to do something, but it's not much. At least 61, he base going down about 18%, but Wowo is continuously going down with his base HP, and he can't really do 1 to 2 because his powers can't really handle that. But at least he do his best to defend, and 61 having two full group dying, that at least will stop the siege at this moment. Alexander also tried to do his best, but he can't do more than that. And that is something Alexander really have to work a little bit more just to understand how to be very defensive to help your teammate. Instead of continuously activated this Tanya enemy base, that he can't do the Q to make sure the enemy troops dying. So that we're also getting a very serious problem, getting this sandwich on the problem now. If they continuously sandwich Wowo, he will going down another 3 to 5 minutes because Tanya already having the full team already. 61 is also very prepared to do the assist, but now Tanya try to do some pressure to Alexander. I think he is also trying to play very smart. He's saying that we are trying to kill Wowo first, but we also aim Alexander so that Wowo have to come out. Maybe if Wowo try to assist Alexander, and Tanya can take the defense, and so that 61 can really try to attack Wowo. So I think Tanya is playing a very smart strategy now. Now you can see he somehow provoked this Alexander, and both of them really try to activate Tanya base, and 61 really do the siege, and knowing that is the best time to do a support. So now you can see Tanya do a very good counter attack to make sure to reduce the enemy defense. Now you can see Alexander a little bit too far away to let his super heavy die without any other trees to siege, and so that his super heavy die is not worth. And now they know it's very good time to kill this Wowo because Alexander going down, Wowo alone can't do 1 to 2, and you can see Tanya doesn't use all his troops. He still have some base activated to do some auto attack, and Wowo try to defend, but definitely it's not enough because 2 to 1 is very heavy, and he's also doing some of the go in and go out. You can see he's super heavy, even having waste about 3 seconds or 4 seconds just to move in out and reset the super heavy's officer skill as well. And that is why we should not do that and try to delay your own defense and let your enemies having even better benefits to gain, because that is your mistake. Then this 61 knowing that it's only like 5% or 10% left on this Wowo, he really do an all-in to kill, and Tanya know that he really put his super heavy to support because his archery is going down just now just to do the siege. So Team Farmer, they have a lot of troops going down, but they trade off Wowo base down to like 5%. Now they try to use a bomber to finish the job. Maybe they can, maybe they can't, but actually this is a very huge pressure, because even though you think that the farmer can't kill your base, but you know, pressure is always there. So they are using this farmer to make some pressure, and then 61 and Tanya, both of them also try to recruit back the full troops. Wowo, definitely he still have his troop, and Alexander try to help, but that is not enough, because one more push, Wowo base will be going down, and Alexander, he will be alone fighting too. But definitely Wowo still have 2 airlift to come back in, but his base is just a little bit too low to do anything at all. And you can see Team Farmer, their base still as good as well. Like 61, he still have more than 90% of his base HP, and Tanya still have more than 70% of his HP. So if continuously do the one-on-one with Tanya versus Alexander, definitely no problem. I think 61 still can sit out from this war, because Tanya definitely have this no problem. So that I think 61 will focus on take down Wowo, and Tanya will continuously to pressure Alexander for these purposes. And then I think the win rate of this Team Farmer versus Team Matt, I think Team Farmer having about 75 to 85% win rate by now, or maybe more than that actually. But the key point is still back to Alexander. If he can do a very good job at this moment, basically they can still change the outcome of this match. But I don't see that happening anytime now. That is one of the problems, because Alexander should really do more than that, because he is the point to support his teammate, because his teammate is a little bit too weak and he is the strongest one. If he can't do big changes and big change to this match, then definitely they can't win this match. And now he have a troop, but Tanya do the match and do the step first. That is very aggressive, and they know that they can take down Wowo, and Tanya doesn't want to do that yet. I think they really try to do something here. I would say maybe not. Maybe this Tanya is trying to use his super heavy to try to play some aggressive, but definitely he tried to wait for his archeries to recruit back, and so the enemy will continuously feel the pressure that how to defend their base. Definitely Tanya not going to do the siege. He's also waiting for his teammate to have full troops. But I think 61 is also think that they are time to do the siege, maybe or maybe not, but definitely they need some time to have their full troops. And so that Wowo and Alexander, even though they have full troops already, they can't do the counter attack. That is one of the problem, because Tanya continuously puts some pressure, and so that Alexander and Wowo can't do the counter attack to kill the enemy base. Instead of continuously focus on the Tanya super heavy, that is not the winning ticket as well. So now Alexander try to do the siege to kill Tanya, but definitely if Wowo go out now, 61 will take down his base, and Tanya definitely can do the defense. Don't worry, can see 61 already do the things. Even though Wowo try to defend, but definitely Wowo base will go down at any time now. Tanya really should do the assist. Now at least he use one of our trees, no problem. At least any assist is good as well. So Wowo already go down, definitely go back to their base is a good choice, not to waste any more troops to die for nothing. So now I think the situation may be go to 1-on-1, but no, 61 try to do the 2-on-1 as well. So let's see whether he move forward or he try to stay out. Yes, he's moved forward, so the match will become 2-1. So really have to see how Wowo to jump in to do some benefit. And Tanya really move his super heavy to his teammate, try to assist if anything happen. That is very good as well. Now you see that his teammate are having base set up already, so he doesn't really worry too much. At least do the assist to make sure his teammate are having a good positions. Now it's another sandwich about Team Farmer to sandwich Alexander alone. So I think this situation is very bad for Team Matt. Wowo have to do some adjustment to come back in, maybe or maybe not. But I don't think Wowo can do more than that. So maybe Wowo can jump around here so that he can support Alexander and also not too close to Tanya. And so that Alexander have to really take the pressure on 2-1. At least Wowo can on the left side, he can support Alexander, and he also try to pressure this Tanya so they can finish the job first. If Wowo jump on the top, definitely he will be die, because 61 just too much HP for him to take. So if Wowo have to jump, he have to jump on the left side, so that we have Wowo down. He have 2 airlift already still, Alexander still have 2 airlift, and then this Tanya still have 2 airlift, but 61 is 1 airlift down. So this is the current situation. And you can see they try to do a sandwich strategy, but not doing the real siege, even though Tanya have full troops, but 61 is not ready. So I think Tanya just wait a little bit more. Also worry about that Wowo might jump in during that doing the attack. So Alexander try to do some pressure to this 61, but he's not using any archeries. Definitely he's super heavy dying for no reason, but now he's trying to use the full troops to pressure 61. So I think Tanya might have to do something now. No, he should try to send out the resources truck, but as somehow one more guy jump in from Team Matt. I think that is maybe against the rules, because definitely there are more than 150 powers that I'm not sure how I can say this, but that's why we have a lot of technician problem when you're doing some kind of custom match. Okay, let's put this stay out. So even though this is the team mat, all teammates, but Wowo already take his base, and Team Farmer already take the effort to take down Wowo. So it's not fair to take down another base that is totally 100% base. It's not fair to Team Farmer, because you can see Alexander is already 63.9 billion power, and then this guy is about 57 billion power, and Wowo is about 50 over million power. Definitely, three of them combined is more than 150 million power. But in 61 thinking he can take this challenge, so he want to take the challenge as well. He tried to take out this guy as well. So I'm not sure if that is correct things or not, but definitely it's not fair to Team Farmer, because they are definitely lower than 150 million powers. And even though they try to do a very gentleman's move from this 61, not going to have a 2-1 to kill Alexander from the start, but now everything's just turned out a little bit I'm not sure how I can say this correctly in the words, but I think technically there's a lot of technician problems in this custom match, because everyone just try to do the things correctly, but every match we're seeing some of the problem of the technician problem. But as long we know that the main fight now is about Tanya versus this Alexander, should really make it clear. I think 61 can't see the tag, so he doesn't know this guys actually have to stay out. But now Tanya back to one-on-one on this Alexander, so Alexander really do a little bit more all in now instead of on the old time, but he still can't do a lot of damage, and Tanya base is still standing very strong, more than about 60% HP. So 61 at least stand here, he's not trying to kill Alexander, but now he tried to do that now. So maybe Tanya have to do a little bit support. Yes, that is very good teammate synchronizations. So your teammates super heavy will go down, but at least you're having 3 archery groups to do for one super heavy. So you can see bring down Alexander base about maybe 30%, just about one attack that synchronized from 2 of them. I think that is very good teamwork, because you make the move and take the action exactly the best moments that you should do, and Alexander can't do anything to stop the enemy at that particular time. And even though he killed the enemy super heavy, but the archery is not down, so he can't do counter attack. I think definitely Team Matt is a little bit too hard to come back now. I think Wowo also not trying to come back now at any time, so I think he also wastes about 2 airlift that Team Matt should end either, maybe not, because we are not knowing what is happening. So that that's problem of this Team Matt having a lot of problem, but Team Farmer, even though they also do a very good job to show the match that they're trying to fight, and also show how they can work it out with a teammate and teamwork as well. And even though not going to do that, but they also try to show us they are very okay to do a one-on-one, and Tanya to fight this Alexander one-on-one, and they still have a upper hand. So when 61 come in, I think Tanya stand very strong, because both of them very synchronize a very good timing and do the best output of the damage. I think that is good things that they're working very well from this Team Farmer. So they are not only doing the things like the Neem, they're not only farming, but they also know how to fight and how to do the coordinations and kill the enemy in the real fight. Now Alexander tried to do some defense to kill Tanya troops, but 61 and Tanya know that kill the base is the main goal, and that's how they continuously take down. And Tanya doesn't want to retreat at all. He buy more time for his teammate to take down this guy, and now Alexander have to go down. Maybe not. So it's just like a few 0% of the base. The base is still not going down. That is unfortunately for Team Farmer that is not finishing the job. So Alexander know that his base will go down, so he really have to go all in now. Otherwise his base go down for nothing. And the use of the Farmer and also some of the Super Heavy finally they did that, and now they do a retreat just to do a full support. So we will have to count 1 minute from the time to make sure teammate will come in within 1 minute. Otherwise that team will go down and consider defeated. So that let's do a little bit zoom out, and we still can see the name on the commander, and make sure that I won't miss anything, because the other team is on XYT2. They can't see the tag basically. So I'm not sure how to do this. I think about 30 seconds. So let's do this. 30 seconds. Matt. I think now it's less than 30 seconds. So let's just put 20 seconds. Yeah, it's less than 20 seconds. So if team Matt not getting back in 20 seconds, then they're considered lost. So another 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so I think the timer is already done. I don't think Team Matt they want to go back in anytime now. So I would say to Team Farmer, they should be the winner of this match. So let's put the Team Farmer win. And so that I think I need to use one more tag. I'm not sure which tag I can use. I think I use the star. Alright, let's do that. Star. Next team is ready. Please. Alright, so we see some of the Elif back. So Alexander tried to come back to the match. I think he really missed the time on 1 minute, but I think he still can do the things, because Tanya and 61 should take him down. Don't worry, because this is about 20% HP base because of the base assist. I think Alexander also tried to do his best to coming back in as soon as possible. Alright, so let's do this as soon as possible. So Tanya and 61, they know they are winning as long they just do one big push, but 61 try to retreat, and Tanya still take the damage now, so they have to coordinate a little bit further. So that is the situation now. So Alexander tried to use his light tank to do more damage to make sure the Tanya archery is not going to be a disturb, but somehow activated the base, and that is for 61. I think Tanya doing a very good job to stay out of the range, so the Alexander can't do the damage within the base range, and 61 also try to do the best to support. Now they can kill this Alexander light tank. So I think Alexander is down 1 Elif, and I think the 60 seconds is because he can't get back when the game may be stuck or something. But at least he have one teammate try to help, but that teammate also not coming back. So let's give a little bit heads up for this team Matt, so that he can continuously to try to do his best. But 1 to 2 is a little bit too hard for Alexander as well, and his base is just a little bit too low, and that won't change any situation, because Alexander is more on the defense. If he continuously to play this defense style, definitely he can't win at all, because winning is all about how you can kill the enemy base. So now Tanya and 61 really wait for the full team and do the things. Alright, so they finally do this last push. You can see 61 already do the push, and Tanya also coordinating to do the push as well. And Alexander base finally go back to 20%. Now they do the final push, so hopefully they can take down the base with enough damage, but the other trees just go down too quickly from this Alexander defense, so that we have to wait a little bit longer for those both sides to have their troops to trim back. But at least they take about 10% maybe or 8% of Alexander. So Alexander tried to be very aggressive now, try to take down 61. Tanya also tried to stay with his super heavy, but no, he have to retreat a little bit more. But 61 do a very good job to defend that. Alexander have to stop his siege. So Alexander continuously to do the aggressive play, but 61 exactly no worry about him. He really know how to defend, even though he not as strong as Alexander, but at least you know how to defend. You can just stop the enemy to continuously to put pressure to your base, and what you can do is that wait for your teammates to recover and do more things to come back. You can see Alexander just going in and out just like that. It's not really pushing any pressure to this 61. I think he really have to work that better to kill the enemy, because his power is 60 over millions. Definitely he can do more than that. Like Tanya, he really can kill the enemy. But alright, so Tanya know that he have to move it out to help 61 to clear this game as soon as possible. So I think that is also good move, because once he go up, become a B2B, it's more easier for Tanya to take down Alexander. So I think Alexander still have one ally left if he still consider to come back on this match. And you can see the next contestant on the next match, they are start to going in and try to prepare. I think that is good, that to speed up what we have. So Alexander try to move now. So I'm not sure he had considered to have a surrender or not. Maybe or maybe not, because the match definitely is considered done. Alright, so now he tried to move out, and he know that the team actually decided is already finished on this match. So I think, alright, so we can finally congratulations to Team Farmer on the first match on today, day 2, and the tournament of 3 versus 3, sponsored by Godzilla. Finally, Team Farmer win the first match, and we will have a second match. So let me take a look about who is our second match. So if I'm not mistaken, I will just put the name here. Supposed to be Team Demon versus Last Minute. Alright, so I need to make my screen so that I can go to the XYD2 there and also put the tag, and also let our member to come back here, and also prepare for our contestant to go to XYD2 to prepare the second match. So I will also try to put this Team Farmer versus Team Matt. Team Farmer win first match. So let's do that. Alright, so that's the current result, and let me try to do some adjustment. So let's try to put one tag here. Let's see which tag is unused. Alright, so let's put this one here and say that Team Farmer win. So definitely they have to be notified. Team Farmer win. Then I will just change the name to the next match. Demon versus Last Minute, and let's put the time on start with. Alright, so I can't put the time here because it's a little bit too long, so I have to use another tag. So let's check what tag I can use? Definitely I can use the defense tag. No, the defense tag is on use. Build tag. The retreat tag also use. What tag is actually not used? Let's take a look. Love also used. I think the attack tag is not used, so let's put the attack tag on start about 7:50. Alright, so I think that is about 10 minutes from now. So let me swap back to the XYT, and so that I can see which team to come to join this XYT2, and then the other team stay on XYT1. We have about 10 minutes from the first match and going down to the second match, and both team is very ready and prepared because everyone is watching the match and they really want to go down and start their match.
told me this would be rock and roll. Is the world after the war gonna be so exciting? Say something.
Attention to detail means everything.
Alright, so we are back to the next match, and we are going to try to we're trying to make this second match to be started as soon as possible. So the next team will be let's look at the chart again. Next team will be Team Demon versus Team Last Minute, and both team they should have 3 members as well. So let's put on attack. So the starting time on this match is UTC 18:00 start. So now let's do a little bit introductions on both team. Let them wait for their base to set up so I can see their power as well. So let's do the Team Demons first. Team Demon, we have this Senzo 68. I think I call him 68 from last match. So he have 45.2 million power, and we have Fondance 54, and then I call him 54, and then his power is 59.3 million power. And we have Mr. Demon. He's not setting up his base yet, so let's go to the Alliance to check his power as well. So Mr. Demon, he's already on 50.3 million power. So 3 of them is on Team Demons. And now that we have Team Last Minute, we have this Gempro. I think I'm not sure how to pronounce. Maybe it's a shortcut. So he have 49.1 million power currently, and we have Team Last Minute, Odetta, and he only having 44 million power, and we have this Hazy, I can't see his power yet. So let's wait for his base to set up. So the time is starting from now is about another 5 minutes. Hopefully both teams having their setup and their positions, and so that when the match start, they can have some headers up and try to do some of the benefit as well. Okay, I think I pressed something wrong. Let's get back to the so this tag is no longer needed because two of them already swapped to XYT2, and the other side we have XYT1. XYT1 we have team demons, and XYT2 we have team last minute. So both of them is going to be the second match of today, and let's take a chart look. They are fight on the right side and the third team fight, so they will be fighting now and see who will be the winner of this match. Right, so we still have another 4 minutes before we start the match, and Mr. Demon still not setting up his base. I think he definitely tried to move his base, and team last minute also try to set up. I think they go a little bit further to have some defensive. Yeah, now you can see they try to move behind, and so that they were having some kind of the mountain or some narrow lands that begin their advantage to have some defense. I think that is quite smart to do that as well, but I don't know whether that is allowed or not, because since we already changed some of the rules of the map, that we try to make the map a little bit smaller, and so that match can be faster as well. So now Mr. Demon set up his base, and team last minute they really stay behind this mountain and try to make a little bit harder for team demons to advance and try to move to their side. Yeah, something is not right with the graphics just now. So finally everything is back to normal. I believe that.
I don't like to talk crap. As I said, shells don't have eyes.
So from the match start, we still have about 3 minutes, 2 minutes something. So hopefully two teams are getting ready, and this is the second match from these 3 versus 3 tournaments sponsored by Kila. And we have the second match today, team last minute versus team demons. So now they are doing their best to having their positions to set up, so they might have some of the advantage or not. But I don't think from the start you try to use airlift is wise, because that might be not good things. Otherwise you are very confident that you will use the airlift and being a very good positions. Otherwise just waste one of your airlift chances, because we are limited just only 2 airlift that you can use for the matches that you have. And so that you have to really consider about how you use your airlift and not to waste them, because one of the airlift is very changing on the match when you jump exactly the moments that you need to use the airlift. So from the match start, we still have 1 minute or less than 1 minute, so definitely the match will start, but the map a little bit bigger from the previous one, so we have to zoom and move around just to look at those 2 teams and see what they try to do. So the match will start very soon, anytime now. Note that change the tag to have another 5 minutes to start. I do not know what is that mean, because let's see who changed that tag. So Kila changed that tag. Alright, so I think he really is getting back to his organizations and organized positions to make sure everything is working. Alright, so finally Team Demons having some problem with the power grid that limited them. They are above the 150 mark, so they should really remove that and just adjust about 3 million power to make it below 150 million power. That we should really check on that. So that we have another additional 5 minutes to make sure that both team is below 150 million power. Basically I didn't check what they are add up, but I think Kila really want to make the fair factor, so he really want to make everything's perfectly. So on the other team last minute I checked, I think they are quite good, definitely below 150 millions, because not 3 of them above 50 millions power, so no worry, they are really under 150 millions power. So this Team Demon, they have to work out their power, so let me do the calculation as well. This one is 49.1 millions power, and this guy is about 59.3 powers, and this guy is on 42.8 millions power, so definitely is 151.2 millions power. So they really have to work it out to make it lower a little bit more. So let's look at my history of the calculation, just to make sure they are lowering their power anytime now, because the match is really have to start. I thought they were really prepared, but definitely something not right, so that they have to work it out a little bit more, just to make sure they are below the requirement power to fight. So I just check some of the message just to make sure everything's working fine. Right, so I'm still not getting the things back.
You told me this would be rock and roll. Is the world after the war gonna be so exciting? They are not fighters.
So the match will start in another 2 minutes, but I don't think they are lowering their power anytime now, so they're still above the limit of the 150 millions power. That is not fair to the other team, because the other team really try to work it out and try to stay below 150 millions power, so that they really have to work something out just to make the fair factors to be having for both teams. And at this moment, definitely I try to check the message as well. We have a lot of technician problem, I would say. So we still have 1 minute before the match start, but Team Demon, they still not getting that. Alright, so maybe we have someone get down the power. This guy. Alright, so let's do one more time to calculate whether they are inside the range or not. This guy is about 40.8 million power, plus this guy 59.3 million power, and plus Demons on 49.1 million power. Now they are inside the 150 million power, so that is good to go. So the match will start within 1 minute. Now the match is started, so everything is good. It start. Alright, so the match started and both teams just take about 1 minute or 2 minutes just to know what is happening. Some of them start to send their resources truck to go in mining some of the resources, and both teams is not moving anything at all. You can see they still consider to send their resources truck in and out. So maybe they try to work it out some of the synergy or some of the patience and teamwork, how they can advance and try to go for it. Or maybe both team thinking the other side have to come to them and try to come over. So team last minute they have to move up a little bit well, otherwise the match is not start maybe. So now 3 of them start to move now to move inside the map, and Team Demon they are just standing there very strong, not doing anything at all. So if they are not going to move, I think their patience will be something very interesting to have a read, but I'm not getting that yet because we have to wait for this team last minute to set up their base to see how they're going to fight. And at the middle we have one bunker. This bunker might be something, and we have another bunker on the side as well. So both bunker might play a little bit big when you know how to use them, but I don't think anyone know how to make the bunker become a very big effective to those war. Definitely bunkers doing something good if you know how to use them. But if you try to use now, definitely the bunker will go down and not take the best effective, I would say. So team last minute they try to advance a little bit more, go up. So team demons they try to stand very strong, not moving anything at all. So finally both teams will meet up and head to it to fight. And you can see some of the fighter running around. So this 45 start to move, but definitely his space is a little bit too far away. He can't do the siege. With B2B, definitely have to move a little bit more. No, now they can try to start the fight with this Odetta and 54. They try to fight, and then another 2 teammates from team last minute also arrive. So definitely this match will start. Now you can see 54 having some problem with his super heavy going down, and then his archery is also going down. And Mr. Demon is not doing anything at all, and 68 is just too far away, not doing anything supports. But definitely they bring down this Odetta. He's about 8% HP of his, their base. So I think it's still okay for the trade, but not the best thing. But team last minute they really do a huge push. You can see they're very aggressive with all the troops on the map and try to start kill. This Mr. Demon, then he not doing anything at all. Now he is very idle or AFK maybe. When the match started, you really have to do something. 54 we in a very deep trouble now because he doesn't have any defense in the base. So if no one tries to support him now, so he might go down very quickly. I think this demon he have to do something at now this moment. Otherwise 54 now can see base going down very quick. So that team last minute doing very good coordinations to have 3-1 siege, and these are 68 on the behind try to do his best to support, but his archeries can't do a lot of things. And 54 also tries his best to defend, but he just doesn't have any defense troops to do the defense. But at least after the trade you can see this 54 down about more than 20% HP down, and 68 really do some support with his heavy tank. But the main problem is that Team Demon, the Demon doesn't do anything at all, even though his base is standing there blocking, but he doesn't do anything at all to consider anything a benefit to the team. But this bunker might blocking the team last minute. So if this Odetta can move the base a little bit on the top side, so he might beat some of the teammate on the other side. But I think they are still doing some of the swamp tactician. So you can see 54 try to put some pressure again, just to make sure not to let anyone set up their siege team to nearby his base, because his base is going down almost very quickly at this moment. But I think everything's good as long they know how to defend correctly. So the main problem and all the attention will be drawn on this Mr. Demon, because if he doesn't want to do anything at all at this fight, they might cross the Team Demon to lose, because he is blocking one of the very strategy location now. Now he's trying to move and try to attack this Hazy, but I think it's not enough. You can see Hazy base is not going down any HP yet, maybe 1% or 2%, but this demon is still continue to do the siege very strongly, and 68 do the support but not doing anything too much. Now they might try to activate the bunker. No, they're not. They just try to go in and attack the archeries, and then somehow Hazy base to counter attack, and for this 54 also try to use his base, but this 68 a little bit too far away and not even do his full potential. So Demons try to do his attack again, but very good. This Hazy try to stop Demons, and now they try to use the bunker already, but you can see the bunker is almost down, but all the Raven coming out, and then Odetta fighter is fighting with the Raven's fighter. Finally he retreat that, so that the bunker having some of the effective, and this 54 he having his archeries dying for no reason. He take out the bunker now. I think the bunker is good for them because the bunkers is set middle of the team last minute. If the team demon know how to use the bunker, definitely can kill all those team last minute when they try to do the swarm just now. But now this 54 take out that bunker, and so that they can use the bunker for their own advantage. And Odetta also take a very good moments when the team last demons try to clear all those Raven for no reason, and Odetta try to kill this 54 archeries on that time. So I think Odetta and also team last minute, they know what they do. Now they even try to adjust their base. That's why I say that definitely they can adjust that. And Hazy move his move his light tank out. That is good because now they are trying to support the team to let them move a little bit more. So this Jeprod also tried to move his base again, but he just put back exactly the same old locations. I think this Hazy have to move a little bit on the right side so that this guy can fit in a little bit more. Otherwise, we are being some like 300 situation, but it's definitely 1-to-1 on the top and 1-to-1 on the bottom side, and both middle is considered as a full support. And you can see the fighter is flying on the middle, so that just prevents some of the bomber to come in. So Hazy continuously getting sieged by demon, but you can see Jeprod also try to do the support. Is better than you can see team demon is not on the winning side because for the 54 having his base down about 30% at this moment, and this Hazy base is activated, also do some counter attack. And Odetta also take this very best moment to do a counter attack for his teammate to stop those team demons to put pressure. And Hazy really know how to use his base for his advantage. Now he try to be very aggressive with his heavy tank. So I think he really doing a very good job. But I saw that he using this Percy on his heavy, but he have a super heavy and heavy. But this is a Jeprod is not doing anything at this moment. Maybe they have to do some joint attack to kill 54 or demons. Now they try to kill demons so that hopefully Odetta can do the coordination as well. You can see demons, they're getting a lot of pressure. 68 from behind use his heavy to come in to help Oni, and he also have one more things on the top is the super heavy. That is not enough because 68 is very safe. He should really use all his troops to come out and do some support, but no, Demons getting a little bit too many pressure now, and then two of his teammates try to support, but it's not enough. You can see the troop is going down very quickly from both sides, but you can see the winning side might be the demon side, but definitely the demon side losing more HP from their base. So if the second round continues like this, even though the team last minute losing more troops, but definitely they achieve what they should achieve is killing the enemy base. That is what they should do. You can see Odetta also tried to do very good job to stop this 54 to help the demon side. So 54 really stuck on his own side, even though Odetta is dying something, but actually this 54 died more than the Odetta. And Jeprod also doing very good coordinations with Hazy, so they can bring down demon base like 40%. That is a huge win, even though they lost a lot of things, but you can see definitely they're not losing too many, I would say, because demon they lose more than what the other team on team last minute. So I think last minute they are doing very good coordinations and teamwork to make sure that Odetta to stop 54. and also 68 is not doing a full support just now, and Demon, he can't defend on his own, and then he are very deep troubles. Now Odetta try to put some pressure to the 54, but he know that he can't do that alone, so that's why he wait for his teammate to have some more support to come in. Now Jaipot try to put his super heavy, and they will have to coordinate to attack, and Demon try to play a little bit aggressive now, try to use his archeries to kill for some fish attack. 86 finally put his archeries out and try to do something support as well, but no, Odetta try to move his base again because he know that location is very important for his teammate to move a little bit further. No, he set up exactly the same thing, just make sure that he have no option because this small house is blocking, so he can't move any further. I think this location is a little bit not too good because we have some this particular tiles is blocking as well, so they can't set up the base even further, and they have this tile as well to stop. Now they try to recruit back the full troops to fight, but I think Demons having 3 groups of troops, and then 54 having about 4 groups now, and 68, I'm not sure how many groups, I can't see that. So now they coordinate to do another attack, or they just try to do a cut off, but I think this time is doing very good job from 54 and 68. They try to do a support defense on helping Demons, and Demons will try to do a support defense to help his own self. And then you can see 68 try to activate this bunker. I think this is very smart. That's why I say that the bunker, if you use exactly the correct moment, will be benefit to your team. That's why you have to activate them exactly the moments that you need them. And Demons try to do a counter attack now. Not sure that whether that is a good choice or not, but Odetta try to do a support. Jaipot really have to do support as well, but they are not react at the moment. 54 try to stop Odetta, but Jaipot try to support now. And Hazy, he is not in the deep trouble because his base only down about 10%, but Demons down about 40% more than that. And you can see that the bunker doing a huge problem to stop Demon, because sometimes the bunker might help you, sometimes the bunker might kill you as well. So Odetta a little bit too far away, and then 54 try to put some pressure to the Odetta base, and so that he have to go back. But you can see Hazy base is doing a huge problem to stop Demon, and Odetta base also try to do the defense to stop 54 to put more pressure. Even though he know that there's pressure, he uses super heavy to go out to kill some of the archeries, and all his troops still stay back. But Jaipot is do very good support now to stop the enemy to kill his teammate, and 68 is not doing anything now at this moment, and Demons can't do the following up because of this. Some kind of the bunker Raven is still on the field, is stopping 2 of them to support the 54 to do a coordinations to kill Odetta. But I think this is very good job from 54 because he can bring the Odetta base about 30% or 28%, something like that. So Hazy really have to train back all his troops now, and 54 try to train back his troops, so it's like 3 full troops and 4 full troops. And then we have a team last minute. I think 3 of them should have 5 full troops for this war. And 68, I think he really have to do more than that. Instead of just sending his truck for the resources, he should really send his other trees or his super heavy to be nearby just to assist his team, or try to do a coordinations to synchronize the siege to kill the enemy. Now you can see Demon try to build the 4th group of the troops. Maybe he tried to stop his troops at exactly that time. I'm not really sure, but I think they should really know what they should fight. That's why they have to do the the setup exactly the same that moments that they need. But if you're looking at those power, you will see some of them the power is lower, and some of them the power is going the higher. That's not sure whether they will exceed the 150 million power again, because I just saved their power on the last one just to make sure they are not going to exceed that. I think this 54, the top power is about 59.3. Demon, I think he is on 49.1, and this 68 is on 40.8 billion power. So as long as they are not exceeded their own powers on the chart, I think that's supposed to be okay. So that I can see the voice continuously. Odetta really doing a very good job, very aggressive. 54 might be the lead of this team Demons. He always do the things to lead. and Demons is very focused to kill what on his next door Hazy, but he only do about maybe 8 to 10% damage only. That is not impressive because his base is down more than 40% already. 68, you really need to put more pressure. You're only having one heavy on the field is not really enough. He should really put more than that because his base is very safe from behind. I don't think the enemy will just waste one airlift just to stand behind to you. Then you can put your troops back to defend. That is not a wise choice. So you should really do more aggressive to help your teammate instead of become very defensive that have nothing to defense on the behind side, so that your teammate is almost like fighting alone or fighting like 1-2 or 1-3 at that situations. Like Demon now try to do aggressive, but can see Hazy is doing a very good support to stop Demon, and so that Jaipot also try to do a very good job to kill Demons, and Onita also try to do the very good job to stall this 54, not to let them join up. So now that the match is something like become 1-1 and 2-1 on the bottom side, even though 68 try to do a support, but he only have one heavy tank here is definitely not enough and can't do a lot. But Hazy, he got his super heavy trying to kill, but you can see Jaipot do a lot more damage to kill Demon super heavy. So when Demon doesn't have his super heavy, he can't do the siege, and Jaipot still have his super heavy. On the top side, that Odetta is really into some trouble, but he defended that, and so that 54 also having some of the problem with his troops die, and Jaipot continuously to help on the bottom side and also to help the top side. I think he know that he not only focus on the top bottom side. That's why his super heavy stop there is not going to do the siege, because he want to help his friend on the top side with Odetta. So now 54 have a deep problem because his defense almost down all of them, and Odetta is almost up on all his troops, so he can do a pressure. Now they know this is the best time because 54 is really down, and somehow that also try to do some support, but definitely Jaipot's not worried about that, and Hazy and Jaipot also try to do a coordination to take down Demon. I think that is very good things. But if Jaipot these other trees can move one grade down, that is the best one, because this is a range of this for 54, and this Odetta really have to do more than just worry about, because they have full troops, really have to pressure this 54. Finally 54 have no more defense, but this Odetta doesn't do anything. I think that is a worst thing to do now, and watch your teammates die. But Hazy and Jaipot really have to do more than that. Like this Jaipot is just standing there, actually is not doing anything at all, so that definitely it's become one-on-one situations. But this Jaipot also tried to kill 54, and this Odetta is not really doing anything. 68 continuously just use one heavy troops that to try to activate the bunker again. I think that is also worst support, that you have a lot of things inside your base doesn't want to use to think about to sacrifice for the team. I think that is not very good. So 54, I think he really having some pressure. He tried to kill the enemy, also try to support the team, and 68 on the bottom, I mean on the behind side, also not doing a very good job. He's just only using one heavy and moving here and there around, even though I saw he have a artillery and he also have a super heavy that he doesn't really use that to help the team to do the siege. Now Odetta try to do the siege because he have a full groups, and but 54 also already recruit some of the team already, and he very worried about the red line. Definitely the red line is very weak. If he know the team or enemy is very weak, you should really go for it to trade off your enemy base. Now 68 try to use more than one heavy team his troops that to fight. He even use the artillery to go out now, but definitely that is a little bit too late to do that kind of the backup. Demon definitely can't do a lot because he himself having a huge trouble, and Hazy is really waiting for the best moment when Demon try to help 54 so he can do a kill. You can see Jaipot doing very good job as a support compared to 68, even though his artillery is going down, but definitely he know if worth it. Is really worth to do that to help your teammate and try to do the win. And now after the trade, you can see Hazy only down about maybe 10%, the max that he lost, but Demon lost that is very much. He lost about 60% of the HP, just standing about 40% at the moment. And Odetta, he's only lost about 30%, but the enemy side 54 also lost about 30%, so it's very even. But on the trade side, you can see Demon's almost down. So if they take down one guy, so that there is a huge achievement and become 3-2 situation, and 68, he really have to do something now. Maybe they can swap the positions from Demons and these 68, so that 68 can try to use his space to cover, and Demon become the support, so he can do more than that. Instead of 68 try to be very defensive, but he doesn't do the support very well. Now he's continuously to use one troop instead, and later use this archeries to do some skill charge. I think it's very good. If he know to use this skill to kill this 68, will be huge play. Let's see whether he will do that or not. And Hazy, he really know how to do a support. He used his light tank to help his friend. So now this Odetta really use the things that likely is not too far, and he also land the skill and also take his archeries to go back and drop out really do his support as well. So somehow this light tank activated the enemy base that almost killed his team, but luckily he landed the skill again, and before his archery got killed. I think Odetta playing very good job and very nice, and the perfect moment you can land your skill and you also get your archeries back to your base, not getting killed. So you can see he do the siege to charge, skill charge already to this 54, and not in the range to let 54 to kill his troop. And Warpath continuously to do very good supports to make sure the pressure is on and helping your teammate, and Hazy try to make more pressure as well. 54 definitely he send out his super heavy to here is definitely the mistake, because your super heavy can't achieve anything, but your super heavy die for nothing, because you need your super heavy to do a siege to kill your opponents on the Odetta, but he didn't did that, and now he's super heavy down, and he have archeries out, but definitely Warpath and Odetta really ready to kill his teammate. So that we can see Demons also try to help, but he can't, so all his troops down, only got one group defending. I don't think that is very good enough. Finally 68, he tried to have more than support just one heavy. He tried to use archeries and heavy as well, but you can see the team last minute they coordinate a very big siege to this Demon. I think this Demon will going down this time, anytime at now, so that team Demons they really have to do a support and to stop it, but they can't. 68 going to a retreat, and 54 can't do anything at all. I think this team last minute doing very good coordinations. They try to do a withdraw and attack again just to make sure to bring down Demon base, but Demon base is having a huge pressure now, down another 20% HP, left 20% at these moments, so that this 68 also try to do a damage, but it's not enough because his archery is very low, and he continuously use this heavy that is not enough. Now Demon base down more than 10% and only less than 10% that standing on the ground. You can see Odetta and team last minute they still continuously to pressure this Demon, and 54 and 68 they can't do anything to stop the enemy to kill Demon. I think Demon really have to do something now, though he can't. And 54 at this moment he moved his base. That is impressive, that I'm not sure why he want to do that, and instantly Demon try to move out. I think 54 he tried to relocate his base so that he will do the gate barrier to just make sure that the enemy can't advance to kill the behind. So 68 also try to move his base to fill a gap maybe, so that they maybe swap about 2 and the Demon stand up behind. But definitely your enemy team they also can do that to to jump to behind you, but no, 68 just to stay back exactly the same position he have. Warpath try to put his archeries out to make sure to say that enemy you can't move any further. You can see that even do a swap that you try to kill one further, but my teammates have my back and try to cover up. I think Hazy and Warpath doing very good job to cover each other, but Odetta also doing a very good job to make sure that his own enemy under very huge pressure that he can't do support at the time, but he also continuously to attack the enemy. I think now if they can coordinate a very big attack is good, but you can see Hazy is not on the full troops that they can coordinate that. But Odetta really he have a full troops, he really should do more than that to kill this 54 at this moment. But maybe yes, maybe no. I think this part of their strategy to make sure that they have a full attack powers to go in again. But definitely 54 have a weak defense now. If this Odetta can do something more just now, he can take down this 54 another 30% of the HP, no problem, but he just very worried about his own troop will die. So I would say Warpath doing a very good job, and Hazy I think he is doing very big changes on for this team last minute, so that we're still not sure who is the MVP on this match yet, but definitely it's not Demon because he already down and he tries his best to do something. So now I can see 54 try to do something, but just one super heavy is not enough to block anything. Other does also try to do support, and 84 continuously to do something, and luckily Demon jump in now and just blocking that not to let any enemy to go in. But this is not the best place that Demon want to set up his base. But definitely Team Demon pressuring this Hazy now. I think he having a problem, but definitely not killing his base, just about a few troops. But definitely Team Last Minute know how to support. You can see J-Pod use his super heavy to chase back the enemy, just to know that he teammate need him and the backup is there. J-Pod always know how to back up your teammate and always just to push back the enemy. You can see now Hazy become a very stable now and start to kill Demon, and Demon's trap is still standing there. If he doesn't want to move his Demon, his trap back might getting hit one active waste for no reason. And you can see that they try to activate the bunker. I'm not sure which side activated. I think is the last minute place team activated that. Now the Ravens really do some kill on this Demon. I think 54 and this 68 really have to help Demon a little bit more. Odetta also try to do something, but I don't think he do more than what J-Pod is doing. J-Pod is doing very good job to support his team. Odetta is having a full troops that he can't do. You can see this 54 is very weak on defense. If they really do an all-in siege now, they will bring down 54 in 1 minute, but they can't do that. I don't know why. Odetta is just very worried about his troops die, and with all the very good moments, Demon just go very far behind. That is not enough to support. And this 68, I think he really need to do more than just support, because now he only using one archeries, and I think he should have more troops that basically can support, but I don't know how. But maybe he only got 2 troops, because I'm only seeing he have a heavy and these archeries. But I remember he still have a super heavy, because I saw that just now. Maybe it's not. But you can see now becomes a situation of 3-1. 54 really into a very huge problem. I don't know why Odetta give an emoji. He wait for his teammate to do the siege first. I think that is a worst place from Odetta. That basically he is next to the enemy. He should do the siege first, definitely. And his super heavy is also stronger than his teammate, but he doesn't do that. But anyway, now the big siege is going down. You can see 54 doing down very quickly. That's why I say that on that exactly the moments that I say they should do the siege, not letting this 68 and also Demon try to do a lot of things. Demon just playing around with his base, try to let the base to land. That is not a very good job. He have a full troops that should fight. Now he react to use his troop, but he's just worried about his base can't land. I don't know what happened to that team, about Team Demon. Now 54 definitely going down. You can see still have 4 group of the archeries. At least this J-Pod and this Hazy will use his archeries to counter attack some of the enemy. I can see Hazy's heavy is there to store demons, not to interrupt the siege team. I think that is very good. And somehow my game also thinking that is very hot, and until the game also crash, I think my game also seeing that he can't take it anymore, and he's thinking that is very great moments, and suddenly blow up and the game crash, unfortunately. So sorry for the game crash. Let's get back to the match as soon as possible from the game. Hopefully we didn't miss anything very important on the moments, but I would think that the 54 base will going down definitely if they continuously to do that. And you can see demons and the 68 very focused on the what do you call that, the Hazy heavy tank. That is still a lot of time, still a lot of time for their team to make sure that they siege down the 54. I think that is almost like the MVP play. So I would say Hazy might be the MVP of this match, because he really do a lot of things to make sure the team having a huge benefit, and a lot of yeah, I can see 54 already down. So definitely team last minute, they still have a very brand new J-Pod base and have a more than 90% Hazy base, and then Odetta he still have more than 70% HP base. And Team Demon, definitely Demon have a down one time, only got one Elif left. 68 definitely can't do a lot because he's weak and he do not know how to use more than just 1 or 2 troops all the time. Now he use another archeries that is not very strong, so now I know that he have 2 archeries definitely. But and then there are MVP players, 54 down already, so definitely team last minute will take this match. I think they have about 93.77% win rate. I think Team Demons, they still have a chance if they know how to do something good, but no, I don't think they can do anything now yet. So the boundary really set here, so definitely the organizers watching the match and knowing that you can't just move all the round until the map and the enemies have to follow you. But you can see Audita very aggressive. He not worried about the enemy, and he know that he can move even further to make sure that he is on the front side, so his teammate can move to him slowly. Hazy definitely is not moving because he need to recruit all his troops before he want to move. Definitely they are doing a very good job to swap over. So now Audita and fight this 68 on one. Now you can see that 68 definitely have 3 group of troops only, and Demon try to use his full troops to do a help or something that I'm not sure whether he can do anything at all. But definitely now this situation is only 2 to 1 if they can take it down. But I don't think they have enough time to take down Audita, because Audita is still very strong even though he's only 50 million power, but definitely he can do more than that to defend. And team last minute, Jaipot is already here, and can see Hazy also try to move his base as well. So this map is having some blockage, so definitely can't fit all of them. But you know that even though you can't fit all of them, they know what they should do and do their best of supports. That is very good to have some great teammates, and they do all the best teammate support as well. So I think these team demons really have to work it out a little bit more, just to make sure that they have a better setup on the next time match, because I don't see the best teamwork from them. Even though Demon himself can't do a lot of defense when the enemies try to siege him, even though Hazy do a very good turnover to make sure that he can land the base somewhere here. I think that is very good notifications. I mean, he noticed that there is somewhere that he can land next to the low base. But if the 55 try to jump in somewhere somehow now, they might try to claim Hazy. But I don't think this is a big turnaround, because Hazy, he might be the MVP of this match, because he really do everything exactly the best moment. Now he even know this the mine can't block his base. Successfully he land down his base next to Demon, and Demon can't stop that even though he have good troops. That now is very late, because the enemy is just next to you, so that enemy can continuously to do the B2B to kill your base. Definitely you have to maybe move somewhere on the top instead of just staying there to let your enemy kill you by B2B. Then they still have one more teammates to jump in. The teammates still have 2 airlift. Definitely Demon down 1 airlift, and 86 still have 2 airlift, and all the team last minute still have 2 airlift. So that we can see how the match going out. But I already predicted about 93.77%. This team last minute will win. Hopefully they can do a better jobs now to clear up this match, and so that we have a next match coming out. So now at this moment you can see Hazy try to recover back to full troops. Audita definitely almost to the max troop, but he doesn't do very aggressive style. Jaipot always do a very good job to do a support. Now he even try to lead the attack to do some siege, so that I think Jaipot also do a very good job, I would say. Audita also not very bad. At least he can take off the strongest enemy team, the 54 just now. So now you can see they do some counter attack to kill this 68. Demon try to use archery, but you can see Hazy instantly put his light tank to kill this archeries. Even though his light tank going down, but he don't worry about that, because take down the enemy archeries means that you make the archeries very weak, and so that their base defense will be weak as well. And so that he also buys some time for his troops to recruit back to 100%, so he can do the siege by B2B again. Then you can see Jaipot and this Audita try to be very aggressive, but you can see Audita is having full troops now. He's still not doing the siege to kill this 68, so that I think they're going to miss the best opportunity as well. Now the archery is going up, but also letting the enemy siege one time is not a very good play there just now. So this 68 tried his best to defend, and he even have an ATG in the base. Now we can see whether he swapped that or not, I'm not sure, but now he definitely have an ATG, and this ATG tried to do some damage. I think this Audita really have to do some more work, not to let his heavy to die for nothing. Yeah, that's the problem. So Jaipot also doing very good job, but the problem is still this Hazy. he not on the full troops yet, but definitely he will be the big changes. And the 54 is not jumping back. Definitely Team Demon is under a huge pressure. If continuously like that, it's definitely a 3 versus 2 situations. So that Demon and 68 into a big trouble. So Jaipur tried to move his super heavy. I'm not sure that is the best time that he react, because some of his super heavy die. I think that is a little bit misplay as well, because his archeries can't cover his super heavy. But at least it's not a very huge loss, I would say. But if they can't even do anything siege to kill this demon or the 68, that might be very worse. That's why you can see they wait for this Hazy to do the lead to attack, even though Hazy really do the things, but Jaipur and Audita act a little bit too slow. Now they try to act but still not acting anything. Definitely Demons got this problem with Hazy. 2 of them can take down 68 by this time, but even though they just try to play with the emoji, and so that 68 already tried to do some job already, try to charge his archeries, also use his ATG to kill the enemy heavy tank. And you can see Hazy and Demons doing a one-on-one, but definitely I will say Hazy doing a very best job. You can see he start to kill the enemy archeries, even though his archeries on the half of down, but you can see the demon archeries going down exactly that moment. That means this demon have no more defense on his space. If Hazy can do the siege now, it's best, but you can see finally Audita have to wait for Jaipur to start the siege again to do the siege. Definitely is not very good, but Demons, he tried to help, but his archery is going down again, and so that Hazy can do the siege. Now you can see Hazy try to do the siege again, and Demon really into a deep problem, but he really tried to help the teammate, but definitely the teammate can't do a lot of things. And this Hazy, this Ozita on the top is still not doing anything, and Killa somehow jumped middle of the match. That is something that technical problem, maybe, I'm not sure why, but you can see each of the match we have some of the technician problem, and now we have another technician problem again. I think Killa is trying to call for the stop or pause of the game, but you can see Hazy successfully remove demon base again, and so that demon is down. He only left 1 airlift, and so that is the result of this pause, maybe. Yeah, so let's check the tag. I didn't see anything about pause instead of Killa jump exactly at this middle. So Audita also try to move his troop, but at least he know Killa is not the contestant on this match. So you can see both teams also pay respect to the pause because it's a custom event, and you can see both sides being very gentle and try not to break the rules, but they also not sure what is happening, because when we in the real war or the fight, suddenly your alpha or your officer say that let's do the peace and let's stop the war, or let's have some rest or whatsoever, then all the map have to stop. It's all of sudden or of surprisingly. That is happening sometime, but not on tournament, maybe. So technician problem is all the things that we have in this tournament. So hopefully that might be some of our keywords that technician tournaments that we have in Warpath. But Hazy also take this time to move his base to have some very good position, or maybe he try to retreat. You can see he try to move back to the behind. I think that is very good, and also asking what is the problem, but I'm not sure what is the technician problem, so let's wait for it now. So I think Demon team may be having 54 not getting back to the match, so they might thinking that is the issue, because we still not seeing 54. I thought just now this Elif is 54 jumping exactly the best moment to help his teammate, but that is not. So that 68 and Demon also very hard to continue the fight if 54 doesn't want to jump back to the match, because definitely these are 3-2 situations. So let me have a time to check the message maybe and see what's happening. So we have a new tag. Alright, so the fight will resume about 1 minute now. And hopefully this Killa have to go away. Otherwise, someone might kill him for no reason. So let's see whether the tag is put by Killer. No, it's put by the other side. I mean by the other guy. So I think the match still consider a pause and wait until Killer move away from the match, and we will have the match resume. Right, I didn't get anything from the message yet.
You told me this would be rock and roll. Is the world after the war gonna be so exciting?
So Killer move away. I think maybe the match is getting resumed, but we still have some technically problems. That's why it's not getting started yet. Okay, and we have some cheerleader. This 61 from the previous match is trying to come in and cheer for both team. Hopefully they have a fun for the match. So this 68 also both of them know the match and they try to do the pause continuously. So we're still waiting for the technicians problems to be resume the match. I think the match is very close to ending because Demon definitely down to 1 elif only. 68 definitely can't do a lot even though he tried because he only have 3 group of troops to match up the 150 millions power for his group. But that is not happening now. So we still have some technician problems. Not sure who is fixing and when did we fix the problem. But definitely something is arguments and some of the problems. That's why Killer have to jump in and do the pause. I'm not sure how or when they will fix the problem, but I think should be within 10 minutes or maybe 5 minutes. We have done that because all the contestants is still online. You can see that very actively, and I'm not sure what is exactly the problem, and each of the match we really have a technician problem. So let's do the heads up again. This 3 versus 3 tournaments that sponsored by God Killer, and this is the guy that sponsored this whole tournament. I don't think this is his real image, but the name that he used currently is well known by server 2, and this tournament is custom tournaments, and so that we have a real cash prize sponsored by God Killer, and each team is limited to 150 million power, so you can have maximum of 3 members, and you must be below 150 millions of 3 of you combined together. Otherwise, you can be 1 member or 2 member and call as a team, so that the fight chart and everything is about randomness. And we already have a few matches yesterday, the day 1, and today's day 2, so that this is a day 2 match second, and the first team that really have a winner is Team Farmer, and now we are having this Team Last Minute versus Team Demons. On the left side we have Team Last Minute, on the right side we have Team Demons. Team Demons supposed to have 3 members, but one of the members down. I'm not seeing him to come back to the match yet. And the Team Last Minute, they still have 3 guys standing very strong, and all of their base is very brand new. So that is one of the problems, because Team Demons having 2 people guy down with less HP, and only last standing with this guy. So that I think the match might be resumed anytime now. Alright, so I think the technician problem is still going on, because just asked one of the contestants to check the message, so we will have to wait for the result again until the match can be resumed. So I think not sure what's the technician problem. We have to wait for it until everything is clear. Then once the match is resumed, then we will be having our tournaments again. But I really hope that this Team Demon having 1 more teammate should really come back, maybe now or later, because they really need more firepower now, instead of letting the situation become 3 versus 2. That is not very good, I would say. So we still have to wait a little bit more until both side and the organizer having all the problem fixed. Then we will have this tournaments and this match resume. So Jaipot tried to retreat all his troops to be very safe. Hazy also tried to just wait for that. I think of those waiting time is quite unfair to both sides, because both of their base is getting some of the healing, recovering, and supposed to be okay. But in the end, we're really seeing the most effective is how you play with your skill when you have the opportunity to do the best synchronized teammate attack and teamwork. That is the only best thing. Once your teammate down, then you will be very having some pressure and some difficulties time to do the synchronization again, because the mistake will be stacked up all the time. So if you can't do things correctly, then your mistake will stack, and that is also make sure that your team and you know how you can make sure that you do the things correctly for your teammates and for yourself to make sure the defense as well.
You told me this would be rock and roll. Is the world after the war gonna be so exciting?
So we still have our match on pause, so Not really sure what is happening now, but at least the match is on this I think supposed to be 80% done on this match, because definitely demon is no more Elif. So definitely if this team last minute kill demon one more time, then he's totally out. Then the last match that will become 3 versus 2. So even though now this team last minute try to withdraw a little bit further, I think that's very good. So now I think they do a reset on the both side. Right, so you can see both teams try to do a reset, so we will have our game to resume as soon as possible.
You told me this would be rock and roll. Is the world after the war gonna be so exciting?
Right, so both team is preparing for the start. So we will have the match resume very soon, anytime now maybe. Alright, so I think I get some of the updates from the organizer. Because of the Hazy try to move his base on just now on these locations, it's definitely out of the boundary. So even though he tried to kill this demon, and I think the organizer think that is not fair, because demon also try to stay inside the boundary, and so that demon will have one additional Elif, because just now the kill is not considered inside this match. So he still have one Elif, and 68 have 2 Elif, and then Team Demon have another teammate called 54. He still have 2 Elif. So that is the update on Team Demons. And Team Last Minute, they still have full Elif. Each of them have 2, and then the base is still brand new base. Only this Odetta is a little bit down. So that's the situation now. So I think the fight will continue the fight. So that means the fight is resume anytime now, as long they both sides start to move. Now J-Pod try to move, and finally we have someone to jump in, and 54. He jumped in. That is how the Team Demons started, but he is just a little bit too low now and stand on the front. So I think it's very hard. But he tried to use his light tank to do something, but his light tank I don't think is very strong. He's 3.7 millions, but you can see Odetta just do a one trying to kill, and then this light tank going to retreat very quickly. Odetta even going very further to advance, and Jaipur also try to set up base as well. You can see 54 is not doing a lot, but you can see the worst thing is that Demon and this 68 is not doing anything at all. Even they try to play the emoji, but now they're not doing anything, even though they try to be very actively. And I think that Team Demons, they really have to work about seriously about this match. Hazy also try not to move now. I saw that maybe it's become a 2-on-1 situations. Jaipur try to do some aggressive to kill this light tank, even though his archery is going down very quickly. but I think he's still okay to trade off because now it's 2-on-1 situations. As long team last minute can do more, like now Hazy try to use his light tank, is very good, and Odita also try to help this teammate finally, so that if they can do one time siege now exactly this time, 54 will going down, but I don't think they want to take this advantage because I think Team Demons also try to do something, but not sure how. But I think, yeah, okay, finally this Jaipur try to do the siege. He know that one siege definitely can take down 54. Demons try to do a support but a little bit too far away, and so that Odita also try to do help, but I think he really have to do more than that. And now you can see Jaipur super heavy going down very quickly. They should really take down 54. They take down one already. Hazy also tried to come, but he's just a little bit too far away, so that the match started become a battlefield match now. Both sides also standing on the middle of both sides and try to kill each other. But I can see that the archery side might be better, but no. I think Team Demon also doing very good job to do the support. Now they finally try to kill all those last minute team things, but definitely the last minute team is not losing because they still have a lot of troops inside their base. So definitely, even though Team Demon they kill a lot on the battlefield, but they can't kill that base. That's the main issue. So that I think Team Last Minute is doing very balanced and good to have a attack, but they still have a balance on defense. So even though your groups and your troops dying, but your base is still standing very strong. But you can see Team Demon, even though they're standing very strong, but somehow the MVP of this match, Hazy, coming and kill everything and push back the enemy. And so that the Odita also try to push now, and so that Jaipur also put his archeries there to be very helpful. Now they try to retreat and reset their base. So now that Team Last Minute try to move at once further and back to the same situation of Odita and this 68 trying to be one-on-one again. And Team Demons, they really have one more ally from this 54 teammate. He really have to do more than just coming in and let the enemy siege him down. That is not very nice, I would say. So Hazy, even though he doesn't really care or worry about his archery stand on the battlefield, so that I think he know what he's doing exactly. And Jaipur really have to move his base a little bit further just to match up his teammate maybe. Odita try to build back his troop and do the one-on-one. So I would say Hazy really doing very good job this time. So, and you can see his power is not very strong, but play correctly, and his setup also quite interesting. He have one light tank, ATG, and then he have two archeries and one super heavy as well, but he did a lot more to kill the enemy as well. So now they also doing a very good job. They swapped about moving style. They're not all moving at exactly the same time. Odita try to move first, then Hazy move. Now Jaipur try to move. So they are not three of them try to move at exactly the same time. So that is very good coordinations for them. And now Hazy and try to put the positions on the Odita side. So that means they try to attack this A68. So I think it's very good. Alright, so Demon try to fight with Hazy archeries, even though it's even trade, but you can know that it's 3-on-2 situation. So if Demon try to be reduce his defense, definitely it's not good. But Hazy also play a little bit mistake there, have one group of his archeries die. But Jaipur also doing the best support, I would say, for this last minute team. His troops always there to support his teammate. I think this is very good and very feel the support of your teammates, not like leave alone when you try to fight, because every time you try to fight, your teammate is standing next to you. You will feel it's very powerful. Now you can see this Jaipur is doing very good support, but Odita is not doing anything at this moment. I don't think that is very good. That's why from the start, Odita might be doing good, but on the middle match and until the end match, is not doing much. Instead, it's just blocking the enemy with his deactivated base. I heard that lilith, so that someone on the behind is 54. So Jaipur finally become a support. He will become 1-to-1 to this 45. I think if Hazy can do a swap to go back behind, it's become like Hazy and Jaipot try to kill 54 2-on-1. I think it's very good because the Audita definitely can do a defend on his own. I think Jaipot really aware. He's trying to do a retreat. Hazy still standing on the middle, not sure what he want to do. Audita is really not sure what he really want to do with his super heavy. Not really doing a siege, but he just continuously doing some random things. You can see he's not doing the lead. He really wait for Hazy or the Jaipot to do the lead. So Audita is really have to improve some of his leading skill. This 54 is just stay a little bit too far away, but he tried to get his troops, but I don't think he can do anything. But at least he tried to block Jaipot to do the full support. But Hazy and Audita, you can see Audita try to waste his super heavy, also getting back, now not achieve anything at all. But Demon's also not doing a lot at this moment, so that let's see what's happening. So Audita or his truck coming back, I don't think that is a huge problem, but you can see other trace from Jaipot is continuously to support his teammate. That is very impressive. He know that he is in the problem, even though his power is not very strong, only for the 3.8 power at this moment, but he still stand up to support. They know they should do a coordination to kill this 68, but they also having some defense on his space, not to let the enemy free kill. Audita really need to do more than that. Hazy is continuously to do his MVP things, that he send out his troops and his archery is doing a lot of things. Finally, Audita do more than that with his archeries, but Hazy is heavy tank die for nothing at this moment. Audita super heavy finally try to move, but he also retreat. But now he's dying for no reason. I think Hazy really not getting the support that they need, but at least they delay some of the enemy try to do anything. But they should really try to be very aggressive at this moment. Whether they try to take out Demons or try to take out 68 by Frost, otherwise they're not very good. But you can see this 54, they try to use the light tank. I think 3 of them, yeah, luckily finally Audita awake and use all his troops to do support, but you can see 68 also use his heavy again, and Hazy instantly do the support, and Jaipot is still continuously doing his best support, you know. So that 54 might be the problem, but he is sieged down 2 times, so it's finally, this is the last time. So I think the best situation for last minute, they should really take out 54 first, because he's out, he's totally out, and 2 on the top side is still have Lilith, so it's not very wise to kill that, but they continuously want to confirm to kill on the top. I don't think that is a very good job, but as long if they can kill 68 now is good, but I don't see they are trying to do that finally. Audita try to do this aggressive siege, but Hazy actually got M as well. So Demon also doing very good job try to support and kill the archeries, but you can see Jaipot do the best support to chase away Demon's archeries to defend. And now they try to kill, and 54 do his light tank to kill, but you can see it's not doing a lot with a light tank, can't do the stop on helping his teammate, and his light tank is standing there not doing a lot. But you can see Demons try to use all in to kill the super heavy instead of kill enemy archeries. At least if 54 is trying to kill the enemy archeries, but the teammate is doing down like more than 50% HP now. Audita 2 doing some all in, and you can see Hazy you also using all in to help the kill the light tank now. And Demon's just standing there not doing anything by auto attack only, but you can see his team is going down very, very quickly, about 50%. So I think this is not the victory from both sides. At least one side is trade off from this 68 defense. So you can see Audita still have a strong defense. Hazy have no defense, but suddenly his troop is getting back, then he getting defense already. You can see Hazy how he can defend the offense, and I think he's very good. And Demon try to do a coordination attack, but that is not good enough, because 68 on the top try to kill this Audita, but it's not good enough. 2 of them try to do a single siege, that is not very impressed. And this for the 54, just too far away, can't do anything and support. Audita, even though he take some take some time to help his teammate Hazy as well, but at least Demon try to put it to 30% down. I think it's also quite a big impressions to make it a little bit turn around, but I don't think that is enough to kill those 2. But it is very, very good from Demon. If 64 do more support to Demons, I think it's very good. But now I see that Hazy try to do something. He tried to retreat his space. No, not really. But what is the reason to put all his troop out? That is definitely something new. But Demon also tried to do the retreat, I think this is very weird that from both sides try to do the retreat, because definitely you should really continuously kill some empty base, and Jaipot not doing the support just now a little bit unexpected, because that is what he always do the best, and now they try to be not very aggressive. I'm not sure whether is it they call another pause or what, because everyone just go back to their base and Jaipot not doing that support. Other also not doing that support when he have two full troops that not going to help his hazy friends with this demon. And now is the best time to do the counter attack, but I don't see team last minute try to do the counter attack, and they also not planning to kill this 54, and Jaipot also not stopping this 54. So team last minute really have to work out on their timing to catch the best attack time and defense time. But now this 64 really tried to do a lot more than what he should do as a support. So that, yeah, but he also can't do a lot. I think Demon is the best one to do the damage to kill the enemy base down to 40%, and even 54 can't do that, even though his power is very strong, like 56.4 million power. So I think last minute all of them is try to do recruit back, but Jaipot suddenly maybe he become an AFK. If he become AFK, might be the best, might be a big problem for this team last minute. But I don't think team Odette, not Odette and this Hazy will have a problem, because both of them know what they should do to take out the enemy. But you can see Demon base suddenly recovery too many. Maybe there's a bug or not, but I don't think any problem if they siege on that. And 54 also getting their HP getting back. So now the situation is become a little bit of 3-on-3 or 1-on-1-on-1 if there is a situation. But if the situation turn to 1-on-1-on-1, I think team last minute still having their 93%